a bit of a cliche, but William Gibson's famous quote, "The future is already here, it's just unevenly distributed." We have seen the future of aviation, we have seen the future of food, we have seen the future of robotics. Right now, it's too hard. It's not reliable enough. It's too expensive. But as we work on that, as we make it cheaper and easier and more ubiquitous, then it becomes more evenly distributed. Then regular people can have these powerful tools and we can see what they'll do with it. So we've already seen that robots can fly. The question is, how do we make it so that everybody can see that? We know that we got to feed more people and we have to lower the chemical load in agriculture and use less water. How are we going to do that? Well, the answer is going to be essentially technology, that farms are becoming increasingly automated, robotic tractors, robotic milking machines, etc. And farms are increasingly becoming a big data opportunity. We realize that the more you know about the farm, the better you can manage it and the better you can optimize your yield and decrease your chemical load. How are we going to get big data? How are we going to measure our farms? And the answer is you can either scatter sensors like seed, which is hard and we don't know how to do that, or you can just take the sensors to the farm, which is what drones can do. So the irony of this whole thing is that when I got started in this whole thing, I thought, autonomy, drones are the future of flight. And in reality, they may in fact be the future of food. It's been a long time since farming was dominated by the family plots and the small holdings. Today farms are huge. Farms are getting bigger and bigger with consolidation in big ag, and there's fewer and fewer people on them. And as the sort of demands for productivity go up, they're being scientifically managed by what's called precision agriculture. So a tractor today typically drives itself, GPS guided, within centimeters precision to exactly know where things are planted. They can also pick crops that same way. The farmer sitting in that cab is probably watching a movie, not driving the tractor. Cows, when they want to be milked, cows go into the milking shed, and the robots then milk them. This sort of robotic, revolution in agriculture. 300 years after the original mechanization of agriculture is going to be the way we get to that next level of productivity that feeds the planet. I think we're right there with drones, which is to say our job as technologists is to make them cheap and easy and ubiquitous, and then ultimately the users figure out what the application is for. And farming's a perfect example of that. It was farmers who told us that these things were fantastic crop survey devices, and we didn't realize that crop surveys were important until we started talking to farmers, and they explained that agriculture is the biggest industry in the world. That right now, because farms are so big, farmers can't walk their fields anymore. They just don't actually know what's going on. And as a result, they use more chemicals or more water than they need to, simply because they're suffering from ignorance. They can't afford the cost of a disease infection, so they overspray. If they could get a sensor, and by this I mean a simple camera, to just fly every day and say, here's what's going on with your crops today. Maybe they wouldn't be spraying those chemicals. Maybe we could lower the chemical load in our food and our environment. So it's not only the biggest industry in the world with the highest economic potential of bringing this sort of big data approach to crop management, but it's also the safest place to be using things because there's no people there. It's not over your backyard. It doesn't trigger privacy issues. It's private land. It's under 400 feet. If we do our job right, today you think of drones as military weapons. Tomorrow you'll think of drones as farm equipment. There'll be these things buzzing over crops as you drive through the countryside.